The Tennessee Titans are set to release wide receiver Julio Jones. So the question is, should the Chicago Bears pursue him? Let's talk about it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, NFL, here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, hit the big red subscribe button down below. Make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. And guys, hit the bell icon so you're in fact notified every time I drop a new video. All right, people, let's get into it. You guys ask me, I answer. Julio Jones cut, or soon to be cut. He is going to be a post-June 1 cut from the Tennessee Titans. They're saving about $9.5 million. And this was a surprising move to me that they moved off Julio Jones because of the fact that they really don't have anyone besides A.J. Brown. And Julio Jones was supposed to be that complement to A.J., but thus they did not think so. And Julio last season was not very good, very productive, to say the least. He had 31 catches for 434 yards, just one touchdown. All three are career lows for Julio Jones, a future Hall of Fame wide receiver. And he only had one game with more than 60 yards, and he only played 10 games. So here's the thing, folks. If the question is, should the Bears pursue Julio Jones because the Bears need a receiver? The answer is a hard no. And the reason I'm being so adamant in saying that it's a hard no is because Julio Jones is not Julio Jones. And what I mean by that is he is past his prime. This man is a Hall of Fame, future Hall of Fame receiver, but this is not the Atlanta Falcons Julio Jones. This is the Tennessee Titans, ex-Tennessee Titans Julio Jones. And like I just gave you the numbers, all career lows across the board. Does not have the explosiveness that he did in his prime. He's just past his prime at this point. We're on the wrong side of 30. Like, Julio Jones is a guy who we just don't know if he's going to stay healthy, and we know his best football is probably behind him. So for the Bears, yes, I get it. He's a veteran. He could provide maybe some stability to a Justin Fields, a young quarterback, because, again, Julio would still be probably the second best receiver we have after Mooney at this point. But is it worth it? Probably not. So I really, really don't see this happening. Look, I said the same thing about Jarvis Landry. The Bears aren't really going to go after these guys who aren't explosive, don't have the type of mold of receiver that the Bears are looking for. And certainly they're not young. So these guys that I'm talking about with Landry, with Julio, it's the same thing, right? Too often injured, not young, wrong side of 30. He only had one game where he had more than 60 yards. That might as well bring Allen Robinson back at that point, right? Because of the bad season A-Rob had last season. So it doesn't really make sense to me. Again, you guys are wondering if they should do it. I say no to Julio Jones. He's past his prime, and I would rather allocate the resources on somebody with more potential and higher upside. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. As always, thanks for watching.